All right, everybody. We're taking me back to Sesame Street. Guys, I've been waiting for this one for a long time. Sesame Place, Sesame Street. We're going to do it on the channel. We're going to do it fast. We're going to do it quick. But will you take me back to Sesame Street? Or I don't know. Can you take me back? Let's go. We're here. NECA, 123 Sesame Street. Not 123 Sesame Street. Bert and Ernie Ultimates. Let's fricking go. All right, everybody, welcome back to the channel for another toy review. I'm your host, SQD Will. We are here to collect. We know you are too. Today, we're going to be reviewing the NECA Sesame Street Bert and Ernie Ultimates figures. We finally got them in hand from Target. Thank you, Target, for getting those out to us. Thank you, NECA, for getting them out to us as well. But before we get to the review, remember, like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. You can also follow us on Instagram at Here to Collect CC and on Whatnot at Here to Collect SQD. Guys and gals, thanks so much for all your support. We are growing slowly but surely. We're almost at 5K on Instagram. We're almost at 1K here on YouTube. So thanks so much for your support. Let's get there. Once we do, we're doing giveaways. Can't wait to give some stuff away. You know we have so much. So we're going to do some really fun giveaways. They're going to be simple. Do some action figures. We'll do some cards. Boom. We'll make a nice little event out of it, and we'll go from there. With all that said, you're not here to listen to me ramble about Here to Collect and subscribing and doing all these things. You're here for sunny days. Let's go. Let's take a look at the packaging. All right, everybody, we're back, and we're going to take a look at a package of these NECA Ultimates Sesame Street Bert and Ernie action figures. Guys, these look awesome. I love the just like simplicity of this packaging. I also love the cartoon artwork on it. I mean, this just reminds me of Sesame Street. It's just bringing me back, guys. I mean, I love the color scheme. I love everything about this, man. You got Rubber Ducky, you got the bird, I forgot his name. Volume 1, 2, this is so cool. I mean, really, really fun stuff, guys. I mean, and, you know, I don't feel bad wanting to like this. I don't know. I feel good. So anyway, nice images of Bert and Ernie there as well. You have, obviously, all this great promotional images, and I love the simplicity of this. There is no writing on here. There doesn't need to be writing. You know what this is. It's Bert, it's Ernie, it's Sesame Street. Done. Love it, NECA. I love how it's also like in a book format as well. I love that as well. Now, I do love these images as well, because now we have some reference shots to pose our figures with. So, like, this is what I use for my material when I want to put them on display. Comment below. Do you do the same, guys? What do you think of the packaging so far? I love it. Other side, obviously 1, 2 in the series, Bert and Ernie. Legalese on the bottom. Also some, look at that, featuring interchangeable eyebrows here on the Bert. Here is the wonderful people that were behind creating these figures as well. Beautiful job, guys. Beautiful jobs. Now, what I'll also do is I'll open each of them for you. You have a beautiful, again, figure image of Bert there, holding his bottle cap collection, and then window style packaging here. Again, traditional NECA window style packaging. And you do see there's a nice little display like sketch of Sesame Street, which is cool with the light posts and stuff. That's really fun too. Really nice display there for the Bert. And then when you open up the Ernie, similar photo. I think they just used this one here, or variation of that one with Rubber Ducky in hand. And Ernie looks great too. And again, you get that kind of sketch art of Sesame Street. You're on Sesame Street, you're in the, you know, on the street hanging out as a kid playing. All right, I got it. Guys, we gotta rush this. We can't take it. With all that said, packaging looks great, but let's bust it open. All right, everybody, we busted Bert Ernie out of the packaging. Guys, I love that packaging of, oh man, these NECA Sesame Street guys. Oh, I can't. Guys and gals, if you haven't joined us before for one of our toy reviews, welcome in. Thanks for joining us, I want to say. We busted these open. A little backstory here. I did do a review of the Super 7 reaction Sesame Street figures, and I brought out my old Big Bird's Busy Day Sesame Street book. And this was fun because, again, I mean, gosh, remember Shopper's World, 69 cents. Just looking through some of this stuff of the old cartoons and stuff like that, the old books. I mean, obviously a little bit different as far as stylized from the obviously Muppet live action show cartoon, but still fun. And you know, my original book here, so that was fun. And then I always talked about Sesame Place. We were there all the time. We had basically season passes, and this is actually a Oscar the Grouch's garage photo. Now, you could take a picture with Oscar. I can't find my picture with Oscar, but I did find my picture with the Count in his car in the garage, and there I am with the glasses right there, and that was my cousin at the time. And just so iconic, guys and gals. If you're in the Northeast, in the New Jersey, Pennsylvania, New York area, you guys know this was it, man. 89, we were at Sesame Place, hanging out with Oscar, hanging out with all the Sesame Street characters. It was a big deal, and I have so many other photos. I remember being in the water park. I remember being in Oscar the Grouch's trash can. I mean, guys and gals, I just remember it all, and it was such a fun place to be when you were a kid. And this is just some of the nostalgia. I mean, guys, it's just so awesome to finally have these Sesame Street figures. I mean, I love the reaction stuff, and they scale perfectly with your 6-inch figure collection as far as Muppet size are concerned. Robo did actually a little bit of a play day, and he discussed that over on Robo Don't Know. And you know, he said it perfectly. That's why I love the reaction stuff, right? I mean, they're nice little small little pieces you can put with your existing 6-inch collection. These are shelf. This is going to be a standalone shelf. You're going to do a Sesame Street display, 6-inch style. This is awesome. And there's a lot of value here, guys. So what we're going to do is we'll get everything out of the way. We're going to get Bert Ernie out of the way, the books. We're going to take a look at the accessories, because for about 35, I think these were 35 bucks all in. You're getting a lot of stuff here. And I do like a lot of things about these. And there's one thing I dislike, and that's paint flaking. But we'll get into the accessories first, and then we'll do the head to toe, and we'll see you on the flip side. All right, everybody, welcome back to the accessory portion of this review. Again, we're just doing these both at the same time because we're not going to do two standalones. These basically came out the same time they did. I mean, they were released the same time. So we're treating this as like a quote-unquote 2-pack. Anyway, let's get Bert's hands out of the way first. So you got these kind of like quasi-open grip hands here. C-grip hands for Bert here, and they're not bad. I mean, I love they have the Muppet texture, the puppet texture. It looks great on there, and you get a right and left of those. And then you get these kind of pointing hands. I guess you could also use them to grip things as well. So they're kind of grip pointing hands, almost like a trigger hand. It's odd to say that with Sesame Street, but very similar to like a trigger hand. I guess you could go rogue. I don't know. I mean, Bert sometimes is an interesting character. You never know. So anyway, you get a right or left of those as well. I don't need to show you both. You get Bert's Boring Stories, which is cool. Nice book here. Again, simple, purple book. Looks great. Little writing inside. Does the trick for me. Doesn't need to be any more than that. You also get the bottle cap collection, and this is neat because what I love about the bottle cap collection here is it is in a picture frame, so that's pretty cool. So he can hold it, you can put it on a desk, but you do get the bottle cap picture frame here, which is super cool, the bottle cap collection. You also get this is cool, boy oh boy cigar box of paper clips. No cigars, just paper clips. And this is nice. It's functional. Opens, closes. You can keep it open. You can keep it closed. You can put it on a desk. I mean, I love the color of the paper clips in there. They're fun. They're whimsical. They're playful. I like that. Then you get the pigeon. And guys and gals, I forgot the name of the pigeon, if he does have a name, but it looks great. I mean, these were synonymous in Sesame Street, so I hope we get a few of them for street scene dioramas and stuff like that. I mean, it looks great. Red eyes, beak. You got a lot of great features here as well. Even on the feathers, you can see that they got the striations of the feathers really nice. I mean, they went all out, and then it gets smooth around the neck of the pigeon, which is very, very lifelike. I mean, this is a lifelike pigeon, you know? I mean, it's really good job, NECA. The attention to detail on this, so these Sesame Street figures are amazing. I got to give my hats off to y'all. And then you get the letter A with Bert. And I love it. It's got the face, and I know this is going to spell out NECA and maybe some other things as we move along in the line, but love the letter A there. And then we get onto the head sculpt now. I love these open mouth puppet sculpts. You could see all that texture in there. Look at the nose. And then what's great about Bert too is these are removable, these eyebrows, so you can put them in a different manner, and it'll make the figure kind of look a little different, right? I mean, and you can take them off his other head sculpt that's currently on the figure and use those, and so on and so forth. So, you know, it goes from like more of a rounded shape here, so more like jovial, to, you know, again, you can just switch it around, pretty simple, and then it's more like of a serious scowl, you know? So you can like mix and match. I also found that his hair comes out. I don't know if that's supposed to happen. But yeah, it did come out of mine. It does peg in a certain way, so you just got to make sure that you peg it in properly. Yeah, and I don't think I did. We'll get it in there because we are going to use this sculpt, so we'll get it in there eventually. I think that's it. And so the hair does come out. So that's what Bert gets. Now let's look at Ernie. Ernie comes with a little less. It's interesting. I don't know why they kind of one-sided it, maybe because of the size of the hands, but again, guys, I don't care about hands. So here are the Ernie hands. Again, I love the texture on the Ernie hands. These are kind of just C-grip hands here. Basic, you get a right and a left, and then you get those kind of trigger finger hands as well with Ernie, but obviously you can hold things with them. They're not trigger finger hands. Again, not synonymous with guns on Sesame Street, that's for sure. Now the hands are a little bigger, so maybe that's why. Maybe more plastic was used in this head and the hands, and they couldn't include other accessories. Here's the alternate portrait here as well. I love this one. This is the one I would use. I love these open mouth facial sculpts. Ernie's hair is not removable, but they look great. I love the open mouth sculpt. I do love that they actually have like the puppet crease in the back where it would crease if you opened his mouth. That's cool. And I don't know if that was intentional or not, because it looks like these are two different pieces that they glue together, but it's super, super fun. He's got the tongue in there as well. I mean, I don't know, maybe I'm just, again, maybe it's not intentional, maybe it's just the way it happened, but kind of fun. Now you get Rubber Ducky as well. Now, Rubber Ducky looks great. He's a little difficult to hold in his hand. I've been trying to hold him up in his hand, but still looks great, the Rubber Ducky. You can't beat that. Even the nice little texture on the feathers here on the wings. You got the eyes looking upward, and then obviously the beak is orange. So Rubber Ducky, you're the one. And here is the C, the letter C for maybe NECA. So that's cool. We got the letter C there. And last but not least, we did get, I love this, the family photo of Bert and Ernie. How awesome is this? And I love not only that, I love the weathering on this thing, right? Look at how detailed that paint job. Little dry brushing of like little weathering of the gold here. I love it on the frame. And then bang, you can hang this on a diorama. I can't, guys, oh my god, I want to recreate Sesame Street so badly right now. This is going to be super fun. This line's going to be super fun. I'm going to dedicate probably 2 cubbies to it, one for an outdoor scene, one for an indoor scene. With all that said, those were the accessories. You get a ton with these two. Thanks so much, NECA, for giving us everything. Let's get all this out of the way and move to the head-to-toe review. All right, everybody, we're back to the head-to-toe review for this portion of our review. We're going to take a look at Bert first. Now, the heads are easily popped off here. Again, a few things about at least Bert. The hair is coming off. Again, I do not know if it's removable. I'm just only assuming it is. There is just a ball joint here with a peg. Easy to snap on and off your Bert and or Ernie. You do have to make sure they're on. They can be a little wobbly, but that's okay for the purpose of this review. So you're going to get an interesting range of movement. You're not going to get a lot, but you do get a lot of, obviously, rotation. You can look down actually a lot than I was expecting, and then you look up, and again, that hair, again, I don't know if this is supposed to be coming off, or I may just have to glue it in. I don't know, guys and gals. Let me know in the comments below. So that's kind of all the head range of motion. And then you have a little bit of a crunch, but it's covered up by this shirt, and it's a flexible shirt. So it is going to allow you to bend down a little bit. So you can see there, and then obviously get him to bend backwards as well. Like if you wanted to do the limbo or something, you know, they used to do that. I thought they used to do that in Sesame Street. Anyway, with that said, you also have standard, metal. I wanted to say metal, guys. Jesus, I don't know what review I'm in. Standard NECA articulation. These are single jointed elbows. I don't think you need double jointed in this application. I mean, it's a puppet. It can't really move like super crazy. You get some swivel in the hand, and then you also have some up and down as well. I did find when I was popping off the hands that on the actual hand peg, the paint was flaking off, and in some parts of this figure there's paint flake too coming from, I guess, the joints. It's interesting. Anyway, you move down to the legs. You do have single jointed knees, but they get up pretty far. Again, it's a puppet. It's not supposed to move super crazy. You get a little bit up here. You have a lot of split here, which is great. And then, yeah, you have these beautiful guys. It's just, come on, basic, nice shirt here. Love the turtleneck. You have the basic pants here as well with a little bit of that, again, texture that is molded into it, which is great. They're brown. And then the shoes really, really pop. I really love the shoes here. You have those dress shoes, those old-fashioned dress shoes with the, you know, the white, the blue. You see the laces there. I mean, these are really detailed, guys. And then obviously the bottom of the shoe, the border, looks great too. So the shoes make everything pop. It kind of all goes together for Bert. And there's your Bert, guys. He's a little bit difficult to stand. He can be a little bit finicky, but you can get him pretty easily there. So there's Bert. Now let's move on to Ernie. Ernie also has movement. Very nice movement in the head. You get 360, not much down, and about that much up. So not terrible up. You can look at the sky. The down is going to be more difficult. As you can see, boom, his head came flying off there. So, you know, again, you're not going to get a lot of range of motion on the downward movement in this this peg with the ball joint there. So you know, and it's also hindered by the collar of the shirt as well. Now you get his classic shirt with the kind of quasi collar turtleneck there, and then you also get the single joint. See, as you can see, when I just bent that, there was paint that was coming off the figure. This worries me with NECA all the time. Now I get it, like I get if you want to paint, you know, your joints and stuff, but this is the stuff that I'm saying, this is the stuff at TMNT that I didn't like. So that just worries me, you know, if you're getting paint fleck coming out of the joints and stuff. I just hope that the main part of the figure doesn't happen with. But we want to show it to you because this is right out of the packaging, guys. We didn't do anything. We let it sit, and that was it. So then you get, you know, some movement in the arms. So you can do a lot with the arms, even though it's single jointed elbows here. And then in the legs too, minimal movement. You get not bad on the splits, okay? But I love the jeans. You do get not even it's just about 90 on the bend there. You know, he's not good, but these are puppets, guys. They're not moving around a lot. And then you have some up and down on the foot with forward-facing pin for rocker, I think. You have some swivel in the, obviously, in the crotch area as well for the feet as well. I think this is okay. You don't need an exorbitant amount of articulation with these figures. You know, they're not supposed to be bending every which way. But I do love the jeans. I do love all the texture in everything. I think they did an incredible job to make it so lifelike, even though it's plastic. And again, I just got paint flake right now, a huge one that just came out of somewhere. And again, I don't know where this is all coming from, guys. It's just I'm bending the figure and then the paint's just falling out of it. It's crazy. And this is the only problem again I have with NECA. is stuff like this. You know, like I just literally bent this figure and paint just flew everywhere. And I guess it's coming from these joints. I wish they would go with more dyed plastic, but you know, it is what it is. So anyway, Ernie looks great. I love his face. I love the smiling sculpt. I love the smiling sculpt on both of these. I think they're great with the closed mouth. As you can see here, there's nothing on the back of the head there. And as with Bert, there is a little bit of a kind of a crease here on the mouth area. So interesting that Bert has it and Ernie doesn't, because I think it's blocked by the ears and the smile. But anyway, I love the shirt. Again, it's classic, that red, the blue, the yellows, the oranges, the pants look great. And then I love the sneakers too, guys. If you get a close up there, I love all that dirtiness there, the weathering of the sneaker as well. Even when you come to the bottom of the shoe, you have some really nice dirty, like dry brushed areas here over the white. So it makes it look weathered. It makes it look like the sneakers have been used, and that red makes it pop, everything pop too. So that's what to be honest with you guys, I love the shoes on these figures. I don't know who's doing the shoes, guys, over there at NECA, but man, you are making them accurate and look great on these figures. So that is a little bit about Bert Ernie. The only issue, again, I have with these two figures, I would say, is just the paint flaking off of them. And again, it's sad. Like, I just don't want to see it. I don't want paint all over the place. It's messy and oof. But it is not going to detract me from putting them on display, from purchasing more, or anything like that. It's bearable, but guys, this paint thing has to. I don't know where it's coming from. I don't know how it's coming from. But guys, start doing more dyed plastic. At least even in your inner torsos or whatever. I have no idea. Anyway, let's move on to the comparison portion of this review. All right, everybody, we are back in comparisons, and we're going to compare these next to a couple 6-inch and 7/8-inch figures to show you what the scale looks like. And here we go. First off, we have coming up as a review, we have the MAPEX Mandalorian, Star Wars The Mandalorian, Luke Skywalker right there. So there you go. I mean, again, these figures are large, and this would not be an accurate scale, obviously, in real life, right? These would be small puppets compared to Luke. But there you go, if you just wanted to see it next to what it looks like next to a classic 6-inch figure. Next up, we have our trusty Clark Kent, or as you would call from Muff Toys, the Protector of Metropolis. So that is like a Mezco 1/12 collective scale figure, which I wanted to show you next to these figures as well, so you have a little bit of a better idea of what they look like next to something like that. More lifelike representation of a figure or action figure. And then we have coming up next as well our Super 7 Ultimates TMNT, not Krang. I want to call Krang, for some reason I want to call Splinter Racking and Krang Racking. I don't know why. I mean Wrecking Krang. But there you go. As you can see, that's a beefy figure there. They look very, very, I think they look large still. I mean, I don't think you're going to put it with this stuff. I mean, you may throw them with TMNT. I think you can get away with that on your TMNT shelf. And then we have another NECA figure. And here's the NECA Ultimates Back to the Future 2 Doc Brown. So there you go. That's next to another NECA figure. That there. And then since we are a wrestling channel, right, we might as well bring out our trusty Dirty Dominic Mysterio. I don't know. I think it's fun. They do not pair together, but he's gonna get locked up. I'm telling you, this guy, if he goes to Sesame Street, this ain't gonna fly over there. But there is a trusty Mattel WWE Elite figure, and we have here Bert and Ernie next to a NECA Alf. Now that's the shelf that can get fun, that shelf. Like this I like. And I don't know if Alf is like size accurate, but I don't know. I don't think he is, and I think he fits very well with these guys. So I love that NECA Alf right there. I don't know what it is, guys. What I want to do with these figures is I want to like put them next to funky stuff like this for some reason. Why is that? Comment below. What do you think? Can they fit with TMNT? Maybe not this strong. I mean, Jim Man looks awesome now next to them. I don't know. I wanted to test those out. I mean, I know, like, I don't know. I want to put them next to TMNT. Here's NECA TMNT. That was a Super 7 Ultimates Mutagen Man. Here's NECA belly bomb here from the Archie. See, they look good. I don't know why. I like this. I understand that these are not comic versions of the figures. I understand this has more of the etching and stuff like that, and stuff, you know, more of that kind of comic look to it. But for some reason, I don't know. I just like these together. I don't know why it is. I love this belly bomb too. It's so cool. I just put it right into my cartoon collection. Not even do an Archie. And then what we're gonna do here is we're gonna throw in a Super 7 Ultimate Deluxe. I should say Deluxe Lino. And these are cool too. I like these next to each other for some reason. I like Lino and the Sesame Street folk. Really fun. And then last but not least, we also have to have good representation of Mr. Todd McFarlane and his DC multiverse, which is sadly going to be no more. So there you go. There's Batman from Batman Begins. That's a Bale Bat. God, what a great looking figure. He's going out with a bang, guys. He's going out with a bang. Watch for McFarlane. McFarlane DC multiverse is gonna probably be really, really fun for 2025. I hope so. Crossing my fingers. All right, guys and gals, we are done with comparisons. Again, I think these are standalone Sesame Street universe. I think you could do some mixing and matches. I think you could throw Alf in there and stuff like that. But personally, I wouldn't do much more than that. Maybe some other IPs that work with it. But that is it for our comparison portion of this review. We will see you on the flip side for our final thoughts. All right, everybody. Well, we took a trip back down to Sesame Street today. And now we are in final thoughts. Guys and gals, these NECA Sesame Street, I always want to say turtles when I say NECA. These NECA Sesame Street Ultimates Bert and Ernie are awesome. That is an A right there, not only for the end of NECA, but for awesome. And that is C because we got our cookies. We found our cookies. And we didn't find them in the wild. We found them on Darga.com. So link in the description below. These are a must-have. If you're just a Muppets guy or a Jim Henson kind of stylistic collector or anything of that nature, or you just grew up and loved Sesame Street. I mean, my gosh, I know I did. I loved reading the books. I loved going to Sesame Street Place over in Pennsylvania, going on a water park, rides. I mean, it was just what a time to be alive in the 80s, and it just was super fun. The show was amazing as well. Watched it religiously every morning, I believe it, every afternoon. And with that said, these figures really, really exceeded all expectations, other than the little bit of paint flaking going on, but no main paint being removed from the figures. Those are the only problems. NECA, you have a home run here. We got to give you our hats off in the studio. Doesn't happen much for NECA, but we got to give the hats off. Now, hopefully, with the Sesame Street figures dropping and stuff, we can get a little more nicer. Things will go more smoothly between the consumer and the supplier moving forward. Let's hope. We're crossing our fingers. Look, we never outspoken about anything like that on the channel. We love reviewing figures, and that's what we're here for, reviewing toys. That's what we are here in the studio for at Here to Collect. With that said, we love these two. Their standalone display, I think you can add them to your standalone Sesame Street display. They have a ton of more offering coming. Counts coming at Target Haulathon this April. We got probably Big Bird next with the Monster, Harry the Monster. I think it's Harry the Monster. That'll be dropping probably in the summer. And then we got the Oscar the Grouch after that. So this is going to be an in-depth line, hopefully with an accessory set too. I want that Sesame Street light. I mean, I need that light. It looks awesome. With all that said, guys and gals, thanks so much for joining us for another review and the review of the NECA Sesame Street Ultimate Bert and Ernie figures. I am your host, SQD Will. We are here to collect. We know you are too. Thanks so much for sharing, commenting, and subscribing to the channel. Let me know what you think about this review. Let me know what you think about the comparisons, the figures, Sesame Street. Do you have the feels? Did it make you feel awesome? Did it take you back to Sesame Street? did you watch when you were growing up? What's your favorite memories of Sesame Street, and what do you like most and least about these figures? Comment below. Also, you can find us on Instagram at Here to Collect CC and on Whatnot at Here to Collect CC as well. And you know how we like to end our reviews and toy hunts. Remember, watch those toy hunts too, guys. We find a lot of these figgies on those toy hunts. But we want to find those figures on these toy hunts, and then we want to bring them back in the studio and review them for you all, and come back and join us for our next toy review.